Sierra Verde Mountains, Venezuela, September 24, 2025. At 10 a.m., the air is thick with the stench of chemicals and the hum of unseen drones. In the rugged highlands, where Venezuela's Sierra Verde meets its coastal plains, silence shatters like glass. A US MQ-9 Reaper drone locks its laser on a convoy of 10 heavy trucks, grinding through a narrow valley. Their cargo, 82 tons of crystal meth and $230 million in cash. Above, an AC 130-watt Spectre gunship roars to life, its 30mm cannon spitting fire, tearing craters into the dirt road. Apache AH-64E helicopters unleash Hellfire missiles, shredding steel and bone. Below 300 US Special Forces, SEALs and Rangers surge from hidden ridges, their M4 carbines blazing. In just 8 minutes, the Sierra Verde Cartel's fortress of drugs, money and guns becomes a smoldering graveyard. The numbers are staggering. 82 tons of meth, enough to poison 50 million doses, $230 million in cash, shrink-wrapped in steel chests, 100 US soldiers momentarily pinned down, surrounded by an estimated 10,000 cartel fighters, many high on their own supply, scrambling in chaotic fury. Smoke rises, bunkers collapse, and supply lines snap like dry twigs. The valley trembles, as if struck by an earthquake. This is no ordinary raid, it's a death blow to a criminal empire, worth $4 billion a year. But how did 300 Americans dismantle a cartel stronghold in a single day? Buckle up. This is the story of a strike that changed the game. September 24, 2025, Sierra Verde Mountains, Venezuela. Under a moonless sky, the Sierra Verde Mountains loom like jagged teeth, their valleys choked with dense jungle and treacherous ravines. At 10 a.m., the stillness of this remote Venezuelan highland near the coastal border with Colombia is about to be obliterated. The target, a sprawling cartel compound, a factory of doom carved into the mountainside. 8 concrete bunkers, their smokestacks spewing the acrid stench of methamphetamine production, churn out 10 tons of crystal meth weekly, a street value of $600 million a month. This is no back alley lab, it's an industrial operation, fortified with steel gates, anti-aircraft guns, and a network of tunnels. Its financial lifeblood, a staggering $4 billion in annual narcotics trafficking, fueling violence across 3 continents. The Sierra Verde Cartel, one of the Western Hemisphere's most brutal syndicates, has turned this remote stronghold into a fortress. Its convoy of 10 trucks, 6 loaded with 82 tons of meth, 1 with $230 million in cash, and 3 bristling with 80 gunmen, armed with AK-47 seconds, PKM machine guns, and RPG launchers, represents the cartel's beating heart. For months, US intelligence has tracked this artery, knowing that if it reaches the mountain labs, it could bankroll another decade of bloodshed. The stakes are apocalyptic. Neutralize it now, or let a criminal empire metastasize. From a temporary command post along the Orinoco River, 12 kilometers south, US commanders watch live feeds from an MQ-9 Reaper drone, circling 20,000 feet above. The decision is unanimous: interdict, seize, destroy. This is not a mission to gather evidence, it's a surgical strike to obliterate the cartel's resources. The question burns: how can a joint force of Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, and Air Force firepower breach a fortress guarded by 10,000 cartel fighters, capture its elusive field commander, and erase a billion-dollar operation in a single day? The Sierra Verde compound is a marvel of criminal engineering. Reinforced concrete bunkers house dozens of steel vats, bubbling with precursor chemicals, producing meth at an industrial scale. Intelligence estimates its weekly output at 10 tons, enough to flood every major American city for months. The financial haul is equally jaw-dropping. $230 million in cash hidden in steel chests represents just a fraction of the cartel's annual $4 billion revenue. Satellite imagery and informant tips reveal a single, treacherous dirt road as the convoy's lifeline, winding through cliffs and jungle, a perfect choke point. The danger is palpable. The cartel's 80-man escort is a mobile army, their AK-47 seconds and RPGs ready to unleash hell. Beyond the convoy, an estimated 10,000 fighters, many strung out on their own, product lurk in the surrounding hills, ready to swarm at the first sign of trouble. The compound itself is a death trap. Anti-aircraft guns, booby-trapped paths, and GPS jammers protect its perimeter. For the 300 US troops staging in the valley, failure is not an option. A single misstep could leave them stranded, surrounded by a frenzied horde. Codenamed Operation Iron Knight, the mission is a masterclass in coordinated chaos. The Joint Task Force JTF South, headquartered at a forward operating base near Puerto La Cruz, Venezuela, has mobilized an elite strike package. 40 Navy SEALs from Team A, Red Berets, lead the ground assault, backed by 2 Ranger companies, totaling 250 soldiers. Overhead, an air arsenal looms, an AC 130-watt Spectre gunship with 30mm autocannons, AH-64E Apache helicopters armed with Hellfire missiles, and F-35 jets on standby from Puerto Rico. The MQ-9 Reaper provides real-time targeting, painting laser markers on every truck and bunker. Logistics are staggering. 40,000 rounds of small arms ammunition, 200 shoulder-fired rockets, and 600 medical kits are staged within reach. Armored vehicles and Coast Guard patrol boats secure the coastal flank, ensuring no escape by sea. The plan hinges on speed and precision. SEALs and Rangers will cut off the convoy's path, while air assets pulverize its defenses. A kill box is established to contain airstrikes, with no-fire zones protecting nearby villages and fragile ecosystems. The wildcard, the 10,000 cartel fighters in the region, a chaotic variable that demands surgical restraint to avoid a bloodbath. At 9 a.m., soldiers tighten their body armor, medics prep triage stations, and radio chatter crackles with encrypted orders. The Reaper's infrared feed shows the convoy grinding closer, oblivious to the trap. Every mile it advances is a step toward annihilation. Commanders know the cost of hesitation. If the convoy links with the Mountain Labs, it could generate $1 billion in narcotics within 6 months. The order is clear: execute. As the clock ticks to 10 a.m., the valley braces for impact. 8 minutes will decide the fate of an empire. This is no ordinary battle, it's a reckoning. The Sierra Verde Cartel has gambled everything on its mountain fortress. In the next 7 parts, we'll uncover how US forces turned a death trap into a graveyard, severed the cartel's lifeline, and sent shockwaves through the global drug trade. Stay with us, this is only the beginning. Sierra Verde Mountains, Venezuela, September 24th, 2025, at 4 a.m. High above the jagged peaks of Venezuela's Sierra Verde, a US MQ-9 Reaper drone hums silently, its infrared sensors piercing the pre-dawn gloom. A faint heat signature flickers on its feed, a cluster of smokestacks venting chemical fumes from a hidden cartel compound. This is no ordinary hideout, it's a subterranean fortress, its concrete bunkers buried beneath layers of rock and jungle. The Sierra Verde Cartel's factory of doom is exposed, and the clock is ticking. For weeks, US intelligence has pieced together a mosaic of data. Commercial satellites operated by Maxar Technologies capture high-resolution images of a fortified complex near Puerto La Cruz, revealing 8 bunkers with reinforced steel doors and anti-aircraft emplacements. SIGINT intercepts, processed at a sensitive compartmented information facility in Miami, confirm frenetic radio chatter cartel operatives, coordinating a massive shipment. AI algorithms running on Palantir's Gotham platform cross-reference the data, pinpointing 82 tons of methamphetamine and $230 million stashed in steel containers.
Still inconclusive.
The analysis is chilling. The cartel plans to move this haul within 72 hours, potentially flooding global markets. The compound's defenses are formidable. GPS jammers blanket the valley, scrambling navigation. Tripwire mines line the single dirt road, and concealed machine gun nests guard the perimeter. The risk assessment is stark. Delay means losing the shipment, fueling the cartel's $4 billion empire. At 5 a.m., Joint Task Force South, headquartered at Forward Operating Base Orinoco, greenlights a daring daytime assault. The decision is razor sharp: strike now or let the cartel's poison spread. Precision is everything. Any misstep could ignite a war, with 10,000 frenzied fighters lurking in the hills. Sierra Verde Mountains, Venezuela, September 24, 2025, at 6 a.m. The Orinoco River's muddy banks pulse with controlled chaos. At Forward Operating Base Orinoco, 12 kilometers south of the Sierra Verde Cartel's stronghold, the air crackles with encrypted radio signals. Operation Iron Knight is no mere raid. It's a meticulously orchestrated symphony of destruction designed to decapitate a $4 billion criminal empire in a single day. The Joint Task Force South, headquartered near Puerto La Cruz, has mobilized an elite strike package, 40 Navy SEALs from Team A, Red Berets, 2 Army Ranger companies, totaling 250 soldiers, and a lethal air armada of AC 130-watt Spectre gunships, AH-64E Apache helicopters, and F-35 Lightning, 2 jets on standby, from Puerto Rico's Muñoz Air National Guard Base. The mission: obliterate the cartel's mountain fortress, seize its assets, and neutralize its leadership before 10,000 frenzied fighters can swarm the battlefield. The operation unfolds across 3 synchronized assault vectors. Team Alpha, a ground force of SEALs and Rangers, will advance through the jungle using the narrow dirt road as a choke point to ambush the cartel's convoy. Team Bravo, deploying via UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters and M1126 Striker armored personnel carriers, will execute a rapid air assault to flank the compound's northern perimeter. Team Charlie, a specialized unit of combat engineers and tunnel rats, will infiltrate subterranean passages, planting explosives to collapse escape routes. Each move is calibrated to exploit the cartel's vulnerabilities while minimizing exposure to their overwhelming numbers. The battlefield is carved into a kill box, a designated zone for controlled airstrikes centered on the convoy and compound. No fire zones, mapped using satellite data, protect nearby villages and the ecologically sensitive Orinoco Delta wetlands. The MQ-9 Reaper, orbiting at 20,000 feet, feeds real-time coordinates to every unit, its laser designators, painting targets with surgical precision. Above the AC 130 watts 30mm autocannons and the Apache's Hellfire missiles stand ready to unleash hell. F-35 seconds, equipped with advanced sensor fusion, loiter over the Caribbean, prepared to counter any cartel air assets or Venezuelan military interference. The logistical backbone is staggering. Supply officers have pre-positioned 40,000 rounds of 5.5 to 6mm and 7.6 to 2mm ammunition, 200 Javelin anti-tank rockets, and 600 medical kits, including tourniquets and IV drips, staged in armored trailers. M1126 Strikers, fitted with slat armor to deflect RPGs, are parked along the riverbank. U.S. Coast Guard Response Boat Medium, or RBM vessels, armed with M240 machine guns, patrol the coastal flank near the Gulf of Paria, ensuring no cartel boats slip through. Medevac Chinooks wait in reserve, their crews drilling for rapid casualty evacuation under fire. The cartel's estimated 10,000 fighters in the region, many erratic from drug use, pose a nightmare scenario. Intelligence suggests they're scattered across jungle camps, armed with AK-47s, PKM machine guns, and improvised drones. JTF South's contingency plan is ruthless yet restrained. Selective airstrikes to disrupt reinforcements, prioritizing precision to avoid civilian casualties. If overwhelmed, Alpha and Bravo teams will form defensive perimeters, leveraging striker firepower and air cover to hold ground until Charlie's explosives seal the compound's tunnels.
Get that drone up now.
The goal is clear: preserve U.S. lives while delivering a crippling blow. The cartel isn't idle.
Jammer frequencies
SIGINT intercepts reveal frantic attempts to reposition drones and spotters, their crude jammers humming to disrupt GPS signals. But the US holds the technological edge. The F-35's AN/APG-81 radar can detect low-flying cartel drones, while the Reaper's synthetic aperture radar cuts through jamming. Commanders at the SCIF
Target convoy.
in
Confirmed
Miami
deviation.
analyzing real-time data via Palantir's Gotham platform to predict the cartel's next move, a desperate attempt to rush the convoy to the compound before dawn. The decision to strike at 10 a.m. daylight wrongfoots the cartel, who expect a night assault. It's a calculated risk, exposing US forces to visibility, but maximizing air support accuracy. At 7 a.m., soldiers check their gear under the jungle canopy. SEALs test night vision goggles despite the daytime strike, anticipating tunnel combat. Rangers calibrate javelin sights, their faces grim but focused. Radio chatter hums.
Copy
Alpha,
that.
confirm grid.
Prime.
Bravo, rotor check. Charlie, charges primed. The Reaper's feed shows the convoy creeping closer, its drivers unaware of the noose tightening. The cartel's empire hangs by a thread, and Operation Iron Knight is about to cut it. As the sun climbs, the valley braces for a reckoning that will echo from Caracas to Washington. Sierra Verde Mountains, Venezuela, September 24, 2025. At 9:30 a.m., the jungle hums with tension as dawn's gray light filters through the canopy. In the shadow of Venezuela's Sierra Verde Mountains, near the coastal border with Colombia, 40 Navy SEALs from Team A, Red Berets, creep forward. Their ANP versus 31 night vision goggles, casting an eerie green glow. Black Hornet, 3 nano-drones, no larger than a sparrow, buzz ahead, their thermal cameras scanning the cartel's convoy route. The dirt trail, barely wide enough for the 10-truck column, is a death trap flanked by cliffs and littered with tripwire mines. Operation Iron Knight is about to ignite, and the US forces are walking into a hornet's nest. At 9:45 a.m., Team Alpha's SEALs and Rangers, cloaked in multicam gear, move in disciplined silence, guided by micro-UAV feeds, streaming to their wrist-mounted displays. The Black Hornets reveal cartel sentries at a forward outpost, their AK-47s slung carelessly
Tango 6
as they
to
smoke.
Element 1, eliminate the sentries.
A whispered command crackles through encrypted comms. Neutralize. SEAL snipers, armed with suppressed Monet 10 rifles, drop 2 guards with surgical precision, their bodies slumping into the underbrush. Team Bravo's UH-60 Black Hawks, rotors muffled for stealth, hover 10 kilometers north, ready to deploy. Team Charlie's combat engineers, equipped with handheld GPR, -3000 ground-penetrating radars, probe for tunnels beneath the compound, marking escape routes for demolition. That's the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. Don't forget to follow the channel so you won't miss part 2.